In the last 3 years, Ghana has made a conscious effort to leverage on tourism, arts, culture, music, food, and what have you to attract tourists to Ghana and also rake in some good foreign currency. Today, I'm joined by a Hollywood actress who is officially a Ghanaian. After this break, I'll introduce my guest. Welcome back from that break. As I told you earlier, I'm with a Hollywood actress who is fully, officially a Ghanaian. So maybe I'll ditch her American name and call her or refer to her by her Ghanaian name. I'm with AJ Ekia Otrebia Johnson.
To hear you say it is music to my ears. Say it one more time just so I can hear it.
AJ Ekia Otrebia Johnson.
It's amazing because you have to remember, thank you. And it just gives me such unspeakable joy when I hear my name because as an American, we were taken without our names. And so to be able to come back home and be named so exquisitely and with I carry such pride and such confidence just by my name. And so
in Ghana, we place a lot of emphasis on our names and their meanings, what it means to us and all of that. You're welcome once again. This is GhanaWeb TV.
Thank you.
Well, let's go straight into it. Who is AJ Johnson?
AJ Ekia. Yeah, that's okay. AJ Ekia is a passionate, compassionate, driven, purpose walker, light walker in life who was blessed with a number of different talents. And I'm just trying to live life, making sure that I leave, as we say, I leave my tank empty when God calls me home. From the entertainment business to, as you said, I'm a Hollywood actress, to my higher education. I'm a dual degree science major from Spelman College in Atlanta and graduated with honors. And so I like to use that in my life and in my career. I love the idea of women empowerment and sisterhood. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And so I want to bring more of that sisterhood and more of that service from America to Ghana. And so I'm just living life the best I can and trying to use all these gifts that I've been blessed with.
Well, that's exciting to know, but one thing you can't take away from Ghanaians is our hospitality, our reception to foreigners and all of that. How has it been for you? From your perspective, how has the reception in Ghana been for you?
One of the biggest things I said about even entertaining the possibility of being a Ghanaian citizen is that the love and the joy and the peace and the excitement that I found when I got here, the loyalty and the soul deep connections in my friendships and relationships, the great business partnering that I've been able to do, it's not something that I have ever found in the U.S. And so it stands out for me. You know, I've been blessed to travel the world, and Ghana has really shown me that it's a very special, magical place in terms of just who we are as a people, the love and the camaraderie that is there if we want it. And so I tell a lot of Americans that they're coming, come with a spirit of teach me. And that I think has also made a difference, from the language to the food to the music. I think a lot of times Americans want to come and just show that we're so American, as opposed to coming and saying, this is new for me, so educate me to the way of life in Ghana. And that's what I've been trying to do with my life here.
That's impressive. That sounds like a lot of fulfillment for you. And so let's go back a little into your career, what you've been able to achieve over the years, what people should remember you for when the name AJ is mentioned.
Well, it's so funny because a friend of mine at the hotel, I live at Kapinski Hotel when I'm here, and a friend of mine sent me a picture the other night, and she said, "You're on TV in Africa. House Party is on." So most people love and know me from the original House Party. I've also done a film, Baby Boy. Other films, Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg years ago, Assassins with Sylvester Stallone years ago. A lot of television in America. From the Jamie Foxx show to Will Smith and Fresh Prince, and many other TV movies. I've been blessed to work with a lot of different film companies and television networks. And so currently I'm executive producing a show called Couples Retreat for MTV VH1. And we just finished our 3rd season before I ran on the plane to come here. So I'm hoping part of what I'm doing here is location scouting, because as a new executive producer, I want to produce more content here on the continent. And so that's one of the things now that's going to be a little bit easier as a citizen. So we'll see what happens.
Also, let's talk about your decision to become an ambassador. Before this interview, you were telling me about when you first came to Ghana.
Yeah.
That was in 2018.
Yes.
For the year of return.
Yes.
And so after that, it birthed your desire to be more present on the continent, especially in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes. So how
that first week for me, and it's the anniversary. It's my 4-year anniversary,
Yes, exactly.
and so to the week, my time here the first week in Ghana was filled with nothing but confirmation after confirmation. The fact that particular year was my 7th year anniversary of being a Wednesday born. My birthday that year was on a Wednesday, and at that point I had no idea that here in Ghana you're named after the day you're born. A lot of Americans don't know that. And so to learn that I was Wednesday born the year that I celebrated a Wednesday birthday was just godly to me. And then, I studied dance as a little girl, and to be welcomed at the airport with dancers performing Aduwa, which is the form of African dance I studied as a little girl. Just all these little, I call them God yeses. All these little God yeses that told me that the ancestors in God were telling me yes for me to be in Ghana. I just wanted to research and do more work. And so, the embracing from the U.S. Embassy, Ghana, at the time, Ambassador Stephanie Sullivan was very instrumental in helping me get busy with the U.S. Embassy here. And then Nadia Mesa, who is director of Office of the Diaspora and President's Office, she was very instrumental, and the Office of Diaspora Affairs was instrumental in getting me involved from a diasporian perspective. So I was in Ghana 2019 at least 10 times. And then, exactly. And then things just kept going from there. So I want to say at this anniversary, I've probably been to Ghana 20, 25 times. And now that I'm a citizen, I'm no longer a visitor, which is great. Those first visits were a visitor. Now I'm home, and it feels different. It sounds different. And I'm proud to get busy as a Ghanaian now.
So you mentioned that it feels like home now, but you have an extra responsibility as the ambassador for diasporans, Ghanaians in the diaspora.
Yeah.
How does it come as a daunting task, or it feels easy because you're able to blend and appreciate the Ghanaian culture properly?
It's undaunted, and it's interesting you use that word because at Spelman, there's 2 things that we're taught from the very beginning of when we arrive on campus. One is it's an environment that's educationally set up to build women to change the world. And you learn that your first days on campus. The other thing is that we are undaunted by any task in the world. And so what's interesting to me is just living my life here in Ghana and traveling back and forth, sharing my experiences and my excitement with the world through social media platforms. It has just automatically made me an ambassador, not by my efforts, which is what's interesting, just by me coming back and forth and going and showing everyone my Ghana, as I call it, where I love to eat, where I like to party, where I go to the beach. Everyone is like, I didn't know so much about Ghana before you, and now you're making me want to visit. This year, 4 years later, I'm running into people who are saying, I'm here because of you. I came because of you. I've seen interviews. I've heard about your trip and your experience in Ghana, and I had to come. So it's a God appointment to be an ambassador. I'm not big into titles, but I love that when you answer God's assignment divinely, it just automatically positions you properly. And I feel like that's what's happening.
We'll come back to your position as the ambassador, but we'll go on a quick break. But before the break, you mentioned something about food. What's your favorite Ghanaian food?
I'm working on my favorite. Right now, I'm kind of stuck on chicken stew because I'm trying to learn the spices. I'm not big on spicy, but as a Ghanaian, I have to get better. And fufu, I've been trying with the fufu. Yeah. So I'm working on it. And I love okra. So any way I can eat that, it's great.
Okra and banku.
And banku.
Okay. That's interesting. Let's go for this short break. When we come back, there's more. Welcome back from that break, and AJ is still here with me. We are going to delve more into her ambassadorial role here in Ghana and how she intends to give a facelift to tourism and preach Ghana in a better light to Ghanaians in the diaspora. AJ.
You know, already last year I brought a few people from the diaspora to Ghana, and of course we were still submerged in the pandemic. Travel wasn't as easy or safe medically. And I'm really, really blown away that just a year later, we were sold out with 30 participants in April, May of 2022, and turned down more people because I wanted to first do it and I want to keep it a very intimate experience. I know there's a lot of travel tours that come to Ghana, but I am the personal tour guide for my group. So doing it very intimately with no more than 25 to 30 people, I was shocked that so many people wanted to come to Africa. It's an expensive trip from the US, it's a long travel trip, and I've never heard of so many people wanting to come to Africa before. So I am thrilled and mind blown that whatever I've done in my journey has made people interested enough to save the money and put in the time, this time of year as well, a time where most people spend time with family and friends, and now they're here wanting the life change that they've watched me experience. So it's my duty, I feel, to not only for Americans, but for now my Ghanaian brothers and sisters to further build the bridge. My organization is called The Bridge to Better. And whatever we can do to bridge where we had been separated over 400 years ago is what I'm interested in. And honestly, the first connection is our communication. You know, a lot of Americans don't realize that, you know, English is not readily, I mean, you speak English and you study English, but you know, there's other dialects, there's other dialects that you speak more readily here that I'm trying to learn for us to better communicate and you know, the language of our food, the language of our music, the language of our dance. And so we're still so separate, and I want to do whatever I can to continue to bridge us. So my retreat is one of the ways to bring more people here and to give them the experience and honestly to give them the education of Africa and Ghana that we don't learn in books, that we didn't learn in school. And it's given me a deeper sense of who I am. So I hope that's what I can do for my American brothers and sisters and anyone in the diaspora.
Right. Have there been any challenges so far?
Of course there's challenges. There's been challenges of, you know, I could tell that people were wondering if I was serious enough, you know, or was I just looking for attention as a Hollywood actress? But you know, when you have a purpose drive, you don't really pay attention to what people have to say and think because God has you on a path. And if you surrender to that, which is what I feel like I did, then you stay focused and then just let people watch what happens and unfold. There was a girl on Instagram that actually made a comment Beyond the Return Instagram page, acknowledged that I was now a citizen, and there was a girl that made a comment that said, so do American celebrities just get given the citizenship? And I specifically answered her myself. I said, no, my sister, go back on my page the last 4 years and look at the work I've done in women empowerment, in better education, in better health, in entertainment, in philanthropy, in economic development. And so I'm creating projects in every branch so that I can help the Beyond the Return pillars, I can help the U.S. Embassy, I can help the diaspora affairs, and I'm looking for people to come and help me. So I'm doing the work. And I love the fact that this timing, as it always is with God, it's perfect. Because any time before this, I think my sincerity could have been questioned. But now I think I've done the work for a consistent amount of time, and I've consistently shown up. A lot of celebrities may say I'm coming and they don't show up. Or they come to party and that's it. That's not my goal and that's not my mission. I enjoy the party in Ghana. I enjoy it, but there's work for me to do here, and God's given me the assignment to be here, so I take that seriously.
Right. So apart from trying to bridge some gaps between Ghanaians and maybe where you come from, the U.S., what other things should we be looking forward to seeing from you?
I think everything I'm going to do is a bridge, and I'm going to make sure I point that out. You know, if I come to shoot a film here, if I come to produce my existing TV show here in Ghana as a location, if I come, like I'd love to do a documentary of my journey.
Doing that
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're location scouting now this season for season 4 and season 5 of my show that's already on in the US. I'm looking to meet more people in producing television and film so that we can learn from each other about what's missing for us to create quality projects here. I feel like I was built for such a time as this. You know, I really do. And so my career in entertainment, my career in life coaching, which is part of how I'm using my education, and on TV as well. Everything's connecting. If you see it, it's the connection that's genuine to me. And that's why I love my genuine. My license plate in America says genuine, because it's the thread through my life. That my career as an actress, my career as an educated life coach, my career as now traveling back and forth to Ghana and working with the embassy and other countries as well. You know, it's not just the US, it's the diaspora. I believe I'm on assignment. And so, you know, I want to talk more to people to bring me projects, you know, to say, you know, what do we want to do? What kind of films do you want to do? What kind of philanthropy work do you want to do? Now that I'm a citizen, I don't have to just bring people from America. I can now bring my Ghanaian brothers and sisters to Gambia and to do projects with other countries. You know, that's the one thing I've noticed is that, you know, out of the 56 African countries, we're still separated on the continent. And that's crazy to me. So I've got a lot of work to do, but it just feels like fun. I shouldn't even call it work. It feels like fun. And I'm so excited to now be able to do it.
Some timelines we should be expecting.
Well, because I'm a days old citizen, it's just been days. I'm staying here probably through the month of January to do some more research and to actually learn what it is that I can do. I'm going to be looking at property after the new year. First, I'm looking at some land because I want to build some property here and create some other opportunities to employ more Ghanaians when I'm here and to help work on projects. Right now, you know, my whole team is Ghanaian. You know, my security, my driver, my assistant, my glam squad, hair, makeup, wardrobe, and we've been together for years, like since I got here. So now they're my family. I don't even call it my staff. You know, they're my family. And so it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to be able to penetrate the culture and be so welcomed and warmly embraced.
Right. Let's also talk about life coaching.
Okay.
How long have you been doing that?
I think I've been life coaching all my life without the title. I'm a psychology chemistry major, so my perception and my take on life is possible that it could coach other people. You know, I remember telling friends in high school, you know, even if you're afraid, do it anyway, and that's what fearless means. You have to do what you're afraid of. See, that's a life coach perspective. When I got to Spelman, I didn't know what I was going to do with the psychology, but you know, the plan was med school first, and then when I could see that entertainment could be something for me, I just kind of put the psychology on the back burner. And you know, as an actress and as a personality that was constantly being compared to other people, that was constantly, you know, it being thrown into the pool of a competition, which is what Hollywood is about, I started talking to a lot of the other women saying, you know, I'm used to being in an environment where there's sisterhood reigns, which is Spelman, not a competitive environment. And so I started coaching myself to survive that. And people started asking me for help. They started saying, you know, there's an energy that you have. There's a lightness in your eyes. There's a brightness in your step that doesn't say you're weighed down by the competition. And I said, yeah, I refuse to live that life. And that's where the life coaching came from. You know, what does life look like if you live it void of competition? If you live it void of self-deprecation, if you live it with not worrying about what people say and live your best life for yourself, what does that life look like? And so that's where the Dziedzorm was born, my life coaching company. And then television and radio started asking for my expertise. It is, and again, it's one of those things where I didn't ask for that. I just decided to live my best life and see if people wanted my advice, I would give it to them. And now I have 3 TV shows in America, and it's been awesome.
Well, these days, feminism, women empowerment, and all of those things have been under very, 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 very I don't even know the adjective to use, but people have been attacking people who claim to be feminists, empowering women to stand up for themselves, do what's best for them.
Yeah.
What's your perspective on how some of the feminists come across? It looks like feminism is just preaching about you don't need a man?
Wow. Well, I think that unfortunately, for those of us who are strong believers and participants in women empowerment, I say that more than feminism, because I think from our history, feminism has a derogatory perspective as opposed to women empowerment. And I think we just have to do more together for people to see that it's not just a concept, but it's a way of life, and it's a way of spirit, and it's a way of the heart for us to come together and support each other sincerely, authentically, genuinely, and see what projects build from there. I'm actually part of, on January 3rd here in Ghana at Sandbox, I'm part of a boss networking event, a brunch on the 3rd, and I'm so graciously accepting the invitation from the Diaspora Affairs Office. And I can't wait to meet all these women from around the world who are doing great things that, who knows what we could do together. We're coming from different career sectors, but the fact that this event is bringing us together is a pretty major thing. And I think, like we were talking even off camera, you've never been to the US. And so I want to do my part to try to help you get to the US, whether it's a work visa or a visiting visa, because even if you don't like the US, the experience of travel is what will grow us as women. And I say that even in the US, my hashtag, one of my biggest hashtags with my brand on Instagram is be a woman with global options. That's not feministic. That's women in power. Be a woman with global options. What does that mean? I carry at least 3 currencies in my wallet at all times. And now I have 2 passports in my purse. Okay. So I think that's pretty great, right? So I have to help other women do that.
Right. So you've established quite clearly that feminism isn't just preaching pro-woman, pro-men. Like, as a woman, I don't need a man, but actually, as a woman, there's a lot that you can achieve if you put your mind to it.
And I think when it comes to the we don't need a man thing, I think what we have to do is help our brothers understand the kind of man we need. I think what we're doing is saying, I don't need a man. Well, no, I don't need a man that's lazy. I don't need a man that's not as ambitious and purpose-driven as I am. I don't need a man that doesn't have God in his life first. That's a man I do not need. A man I need is a man that's properly positioned himself with God in his life and is interested in my life and my life visions. I'm interested in his, and now together we grow. So I think that's the difference. Again, it's a communication thing that we're now in the place of elevating. It's communicating properly. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. It does. And I actually want people like you to be able to throw more light on the differences and the disparities there are, for people to understand that we are not against men.
No, not at all. I love the different kinds of men and different cultures that I've met through my travels. It's opened up my perspective of what kind of man that I want to date, because I had never been to Senegal. I had never been to a country that prayed 4 times a day. That's amazing. And it's not about Muslim or Christian. It's just a praying man. I want a praying man in my life. So I think that's the difference, So we have work to do, both of us, in terms of men understanding and other women understanding how do we create the persona of what we do want. We spend so much time in this world lately on what we don't want. I want to shine light on what we do want, and then let's build it together. Men, women, children across the world, not just America or Ghana or Africa, but again, it's a bridge.
It's been an interesting one. Yeah. I've been so inspired from the few minutes that we've had this conversation. Do you have any last words, anything that I missed, anything I should have asked you?
No, I just feel like, I'm so grateful to the country for welcoming me and for believing in me and seeing that I have plans, big plans. And like I said, in the last 4 years, even without citizenship, I've been very busy here. And now the work and the ideas I have will happen faster and bigger. So keep your eye out, watch for the bridge to better. Watch for the AJ Zone, and join me. It's not just an American organization. So you can reach us at the AJ Zone at gmail.com, Instagram at the AJ Zone, and I document everything I'm doing. So make comments, we answer, and I'm looking forward to partnering with you on some things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can reach you faster, or when we come to your Instagram, we'll be able to find
Oh yeah. Instagram, my office answers right away, and that's the best global platform. Email, as I gave out, my office email is a great way to connect and give more details than on Instagram of what you're interested in and what you want to do, what sector of life you're looking to join me in, and just keep paying attention because I announce everything.
Right. Thank you. We'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Right. If you've been with us till this time, I'm sure you are as inspired as I am, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see all that AJ has for us as a Ghanaian and also as a life coach and philanthropist and all the amazing things that she's doing out there. My name is Stella Dziedzorm Sudi, and I've been sitting with AJ Ekia Otribia Johnson.